How many of y'all are out there and you're tired of these Graviton users sitting in the back of the map, picking you to death, being campy? Yeah, we're going to uproot that camp today. They're going to learn today. Let's get it going. Alright guys, so we have a fighting line build for you today. This thing is sweet because it is an exotic grenade launcher in the special slot, which means you're always going to have special ammo in PvP. That's very nice. The other cool thing about this grenade launcher is that after you shoot it, you can hold down the fire button and then release it to detonate the explosion. So basically it means that you can time when this grenade goes off. It takes a little practice, but it's well worth it when you get used to it. I'm running an Antiope because we need some kind of close range weapon, because unless you direct hit them with a fighting line, you're probably going to die up close. So that's why I'm running Antiope. It's also really good for finishing people off after you weaken them with the fighting line. I am running a Warlock. People are like, why are you running a Warlock? You are a Titan main. Absolutely, I'm a Titan main. I don't really like Warlocks, but I made an exception because they have these little guys right here. Ophidian Aspects. Weapons ready and reload super fast, and that is excellent for this build because you're going to be doing a lot of swapping and a lot of reloading, and it just feels really right on the Warlock. So let's jump into this build. Alright, so you've seen what the build is. Now let's talk about how you can actually use this build to your advantage. So what you want to be doing is, you see an enemy, you want to hip fire that enemy with the fighting line, hold the trigger, and hopefully you can time the grenade decent enough to where you either hit them with it. That's ideal if you can actually hit somebody with the grenade. If you direct hit them, I think it does about 148 damage. Huge amounts of damage if you actually hit the person with the grenade. But if you just time the explosion, and you time the explosion really well, you'll do about 100 damage. That's usually what I see on a well-timed explosion. It's about 100 damage. So right there you've taken them to half health immediately. A more poorly timed explosion, you might get 50, 60, something like that. But still, you weaken the target enough to where, with the Antiope, if you're within range, you can finish them off pretty easily, which I really like. So this build is super good for like zone control, or lane control rather. When people are camping a lane and they've just got your team kind of shut down, and it's one of those kind of situations where it's kind of like a stalemate, where they have a lane camped and your team's kind of peeking out trying to take shots, but they're getting bodied by like 3 dudes at once with Graviton, and they're getting molested. This build right here, the fighting line, it allows you to peek out of cover, fire a nade, hold the trigger down, and then if your timing is decent, you can blow it up right in their face. And that causes the other team to kind of have to scurry off to cover. This allows your guys to set up a more advantageous position to actually engage the enemy and fight back a little bit. So I find it more like a team assist kind of build rather than a slaying out kind of build. But it's super effective in a 1v1 engagements, as long as you can time the grenades to go off on the target, or at least close to them, to where they're taking them damage, where it's easy for you to swap and finish them off. What I did have problems with is if you miss the grenade shot, you're probably going to die. If you're not near cover and it's a 1v1 and you're out in the open and you miss the grenade shot, you're generally not going to have enough time to pull out your primary and finish them down, unless that other player's a potato and misses all their shots, or unless you're just really good and you're hitting every headshot known to man. The build works really well on a Warlock because of the Ophidian Aspects, and because you can reload the fighting line a lot of times faster than the person that you're damaging can regen their health. Now granted, there's some 10 recovery Warlocks out there, you may not be able to spam shots on them fast enough, but most of your other people are not going to be able to recover faster than you can reload this thing and get another shot off, unless they're just like 10 miles away. So what I kept running into is I would hit people and maybe get a good grenade on them, do like 100 damage or so, and then they duck off into cover. And usually what happens is people don't duck into cover that far. They just duck just behind the wall, heal up, and they might come back out to peek at you. So what I would do is I might get a grenade off, hit the person, they duck into cover, and then I just immediately reload, shoot another one, and time it just so the grenade would go just past the wall or whatever cover they're hiding behind, blow it up again, and hit people behind walls. Or you can bank the grenades off walls and do your little trick shot and catch them that way. And I was having pretty good luck with that kind of stuff, especially on the maps that are tighter and you have they're in a room and they think they're safe, and you can just bounce nades in there and just constantly just spam them to death. And I would imagine that for the other team, this kind of thing is like annoying as hell, because I would just be back there just lobbing nades one after the next into a room or whatever. I mean, it doesn't even matter, because you get so much ammo with this thing. Because if you kill a person with the fighting line, if you actually finish them off with the fighting line, you get full special ammo, and it holds 14. So, or 15, 14 or 15, I'm not sure. But that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of spamming ability you have because you have so much ammo. And you can just constantly lob that stuff in on people, and it's like causes them to be hurt, weak. They can't push out, they can't fight back, and it's just, I would imagine it's super annoying if you're having to deal with it. Here's the build. I like it. I have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to keep using this build because I do have fun with it. It's hilarious to bounce grenades into a room and blow some people up with it. One drawback that I do want to mention before I go, and that is if you are in a medium to long range engagement with the fighting line and you're really trying to get that best result, that 100 damage or 148 damage on the target, you're going to have to watch the grenade fly through the air so you can time it better. I'm sure with experience, this is not as big of a deal, but for me, just starting to use it, I'm having to watch the grenade, and if I'm watching the grenade, it means I'm not watching my radar, and people can sneak up on me when I'm not paying attention. So with time, maybe that'll get better, but I just want to throw that out there, that you have to be careful and try to pay attention to your radar, but also detonate the grenade at a decent time so you can do some damage. So with that, I'm going to be out. I appreciate y'all watching the video. Please like and subscribe. We're going to be covering more builds, reviews of things. We're going to be doing a lot for Forsaken. So, I don't know. Come by, say hey, check it out. Thanks, guys.